Have you ever trusted someone so deeply, only to realize too late that they were feeding on your soul? What if the very person you call a friend, mentor, or partner is secretly the architect of your quiet suffering? Could the energy you lose daily be the price you're unknowingly paying for someone else's hidden malice? Darkness doesn't always roar. Often, it whispers through familiar voices and hides behind friendly smiles. But today, armed with the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and sharpened by the fire of self-awareness, you will learn how to recognize the 10 unmistakable signs of a truly malevolent soul lurking in your life. Stay with me and reclaim the sacred ground of your spirit. Sign 1. Constant manipulation. Have you ever been around someone whose presence alone drains your energy, manipulates your emotions, or leaves chaos in their wake? Unfortunately, evil doesn't just exist in myths or movies. It's real, it's around us, and even more unnerving, it often operates subtly. But don't worry, with a little awareness, you can spot the warning signs and protect yourself. Evil people don't show up with horns or tails, but their actions reveal their true nature. They manipulate, destroy, and exploit your kindness for their own gain. The good news is, you don't have to be a detective to recognize them. Ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius have shared timeless wisdom on identifying evil and guarding yourself against it. In this video, I'll uncover 10 evident signs that you're dealing with an evil person, signs you simply can't ignore. These insights will empower you to maintain your peace and safeguard your energy. So let's dive in and learn how to navigate this world with clarity and confidence. Ready? Let's get started. Seneca once said, "He who has many fears also has many things to manipulate." This isn't just a reminder, it's a warning about the power of manipulation in the hands of malicious people. These individuals don't thrive on integrity. They flourish by distorting reality, turning lies into their most effective weapon. I remember a time when I worked with a colleague I initially trusted. He skillfully praised me in front of others, making me feel recognized and valued. But behind the scenes, he began spinning subtle narratives, quietly undermining my work and inflating minor mistakes into major issues for management. When I sensed something was off and decided to confront him, he remained calm, saying he was merely helping me improve. It made me question myself. Was I doing something wrong? I started doubting my abilities. In truth, he wasn't helping at all. He was pushing me into a state of dependence, making me believe I needed his guidance to be good enough. This is how manipulation operates. It doesn't just disorient you, it erodes your confidence. Manipulators don't build relationships on trust and honesty. They exploit your vulnerabilities to gain control. They deftly prey on your uncertainties, convincing you that only they understand you and only they can guide you. Stoic philosophy teaches that the key to combating manipulation is clarity and self-control. A truly virtuous person will always lead you toward independence and autonomy, not entangle you in dependency. If someone in your life constantly urges you to follow their lead while disregarding your boundaries or personal autonomy, it's a clear sign you need to step back. Remember Epictetus's wisdom, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By refusing to participate in their manipulation game, you reclaim control over your thoughts, actions, and decisions. Mental clarity and self-awareness are the antidotes to their toxic influence. You don't need to argue or prove yourself. Just step out of their manipulation and hold on to your freedom. Sign 2, a mask of charm. Epictetus once reminded us that appearances, no matter how dazzling, often hide the truth beneath. Have you ever encountered someone whose charm seemed almost too perfect, as if scripted from a movie? Their radiant smile, soothing words, and ability to make you feel special all seemed like a flawless performance. But when you take a closer look, you realize that behind this facade lies a motive far from genuine. Charm, when sincere, is a wonderful thing, It connects people, builds trust, and creates meaningful relationships. But in the hands of someone with darker intentions, charm becomes a deadly weapon. They know how to capture your heart, disarm you with carefully crafted words, and present themselves as the friend you've always wanted, the perfect partner, or even a trusted mentor. Yet their charm is hollow, a glossy shell concealing a bitter truth. Marcus Aurelius warned us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. These individuals don't just manipulate, they use charm to mask their true nature, selfishness, deceit, and manipulation. Observe how they behave when no one is watching. How do they treat those who offer them no benefit? Words can be beautifully decorated, but actions paint the truest picture of character. I once knew someone who had an uncanny ability to make everyone feel adored. He showered people with compliments, convincing them they were genuinely special to him. But over time, I realized he wasn't who he appeared to be. His praise felt calculated, serving as a tool to extract something in return. When there was nothing left to gain, he quickly distanced himself, often speaking poorly about the same people he'd once flattered. So how do you break free from their enchantment? Don't ignore the subtle warnings your gut gives you. If you feel charmed yet uneasy, trust that instinct. These manipulative individuals rely on your willingness to overlook red flags, to believe in the illusion they've carefully created. Stoic philosophy teaches us that truth doesn't need a mask. Genuine kindness shines on its own, without pretense. So look beyond the glittering surface and seek the truth beneath. Authentic goodness doesn't need a disguise. Sign 3. Lies without conscience. Marcus Aurelius advised, nothing should be done if it isn't right, and nothing should be said if it isn't true. Yet for truly malicious individuals, truth is merely an obstacle. They don't lie carelessly. They lie because deceit has become their second nature. Their lies aren't random. They're crafted with purpose, whether it's to gain power, evade responsibility, or distort your perception of reality. Imagine a friend who consistently weaves elaborate tales to enhance their credibility. Perhaps once she convinced you that she single-handedly managed a critical project, claiming full responsibility for its success. But upon closer inspection, every document and email proved otherwise. When confronted, instead of admitting the truth, she accused you of misunderstanding the situation, deflecting attention to unrelated details. Master manipulators operate this way. They make you question your memory and judgment, subtly eroding your grip on reality. Evil manipulators exploit your uncertainty, convincing you they know better, and in doing so, seize control of the narrative. Their lies demand constant upkeep, new layers of deceit to cover the old ones. But here lies their Achilles heel. Truth is resilient, requiring no maintenance, while lies are fragile, constantly at risk of unraveling. To protect yourself, pay attention to inconsistencies. Do their stories shift under pressure? Are their actions aligned with their words? Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on actions. They reveal a person's true character. When you spot discrepancies between someone's words and actions, trust your observations rather than their claims. Ask questions, demand transparency, and most importantly, set boundaries. Honesty isn't just the foundation of relationships, it's a mirror reflecting integrity. When dishonesty persists, don't hesitate to walk away. Stoicism reminds us that real strength lies in mastering ourselves and distancing from what undermines our values and peace. Next time you encounter someone who lies without conscience, hold your ground. Focus on their actions and safeguard yourself from their web of deceit. Sign 4. Lack of empathy. Seneca once observed that humans are social creatures, not meant to live solely for themselves. Empathy is the bridge that connects us, allowing us to share in each other's joys and sorrows. Yet for the truly malicious, other people are nothing more than pawns in their self-serving games. They don't genuinely care about your happiness or pain unless it aligns with their personal agenda. The absence of empathy is not merely a character flaw, it's a glaring window into a hollow soul. Imagine you're sitting across from a friend, pouring your heart out about a struggle weighing heavily upon you. Instead of offering support, they respond dismissively. "Oh, you think that's bad? Let me tell you about my day." Your vulnerability is brushed aside as trivial. This isn't an isolated incident, it's a pattern. These individuals are unwilling, or worse, incapable, of stepping beyond their own interest to connect with your experiences. Their detachment manifests as chilling indifference or even subtle delight in your misfortunes, leaving an emptiness where empathy should reside. Empathy isn't just nice to have. It's the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Without it, interactions become transactional, one-sided, and emotionally exhausting. Malicious individuals leverage their lack of empathy to further selfish goals. They may feign compassion when convenient, but their apathy becomes evident the moment their mask slips. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "No more arguing about what a good man should be one." So what do you do when faced with such coldness? Set firm boundaries, protect your peace, and never allow their indifference to diminish your worth. Seek relationships built on mutual respect and understanding, relationships that uplift rather than tear down. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your joy and stand with you in sorrow. True connection is rooted in empathy, not exploitation. Sign 5. Hunger for control. For an evil person, control isn't just a habit, it's their lifeline. They want to dominate everything around them, from your relationships and thoughts to even the smallest decisions. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "Your mind is under your control, not external circumstances. When you realize this, you discover your true strength." Yet this strength is precisely what malicious individuals seek to strip from you. They understand that controlling your mind is the key to dominating your entire life. I once knew someone who appeared trustworthy at first. Initially, their advice seemed thoughtful and genuinely helpful. Over time, however, a troubling pattern emerged. They began inserting subtle, undermining remarks into conversations, casting doubt on my decisions and making me feel I needed their guidance to choose correctly. On one occasion, when I considered joining an important project, they convinced me I wasn't capable, urging me to let them take the lead instead. At the time, I complied because they'd made me doubt my own judgment. In hindsight, it was clear. They simply wanted to keep me under their control, ensuring I would never outgrow them. People like this don't just want to influence your actions, they aim to dominate your thoughts and emotions. They use guilt, shame, or sweet words to make you dependent. They're not invested in your growth. Their goal is to keep you within their grasp. Gradually, you start doubting yourself, your abilities, and your worth, eroding your autonomy. Epictetus wisely said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and true freedom comes from refusing to be controlled by things beyond our influence." Malicious individuals know this truth well, and they'll stop at nothing to imprison your mind. But remember, you don't have to live that way. You have the right to reject their manipulations. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? Use this question as a compass guiding your actions. Autonomy is your greatest power, and no one has the right to take it from you. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the quality of our thoughts determines the happiness of our lives. Don't let anyone shape your reality or make you question your worth. Protect your mind. It's the starting point of true freedom. Those who genuinely care about you will never try to control you. They'll empower you to make your own decisions and grow independently. So stand firm, hold your ground, and let your mind lead you to the freedom you deserve. Sign 6. Blame games and deflection. Seneca wisely observed, "People often prefer trust over judgment." This preference is precisely what manipulative individuals exploit. Instead of taking accountability, they craft stories that cast themselves as perpetual victims. By blaming others and deflecting responsibility, they not only avoid consequences but skillfully shift burdens onto others with unsettling ease. As Seneca noted, the truth stands firm without justification, while lies always require elaborate stories to sustain them. Imagine dealing with someone who consistently evades accountability. Every time something goes wrong, they avoid admitting their mistakes and instead blame you or external circumstances. I once worked on an important project with a close friend. When things started going south, rather than owning up to her oversights, she was quick to criticize my organizational approach. Her subtle tone made it seem like constructive feedback, leaving me questioning whether I was the real problem. After multiple instances, I realized I was being manipulated into shouldering the blame for every error. These individuals excel at crafting narratives that distort reality and cloud your judgment. They manipulate your emotions, making you feel guilty, even when they're clearly at fault. They rely on your sensitivity and trust, spinning stories where they remain the victim and you somehow become the villain. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the truth stands on its own. When faced with such individuals, maintain an objective perspective. Resist letting emotions dictate your reactions. Stay anchored in facts and don't hesitate to question or refute false claims. When they attempt to shift blame, calmly but firmly demand clarity. This approach not only protects you from their blame games, but also reinforces your own integrity. To handle such people effectively, establish clear boundaries. Refuse to engage in the psychological games they construct to dodge responsibility. Instead, stand firm in your truth, ensuring they can't distort reality. Integrity and accountability are hallmarks of strong character. When someone consistently refuses responsibility, their true nature becomes evident. Your job is to protect your peace and steer clear of their manipulative tactics. Sign 7. The pleasure of pain. One of the most chilling traits of a truly malicious individual is the satisfaction they derive from the suffering of others. Epictetus advised, "Associate with those who make you better." Yet these toxic individuals have no interest in growth or support. They seek opportunities to degrade others, deriving joy from the pain around them. Whether subtle or overt, this toxic pleasure clearly signals you to distance yourself. This delight in misery often starts with small, seemingly harmless actions. It might be a sarcastic remark, a mocking laugh at someone's misfortune, or a smirk of satisfaction when witnessing another's failure. Over time, these behaviors unveil their true nature. They don't elevate themselves through hard work or merit, but by standing upon those they've torn down. I once had a friend who reveled in sharing the missteps of others with unsettling enthusiasm. One day she chuckled when a coworker was publicly reprimanded at the office. Initially, I dismissed it as mere indifference, but as time passed, it became clear. This was her way of feeling powerful. Rather than offering support or empathy, she amplified others' struggles to appear superior. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than one who never faces adversity." For these individuals, adversity isn't a lesson, it's a tool. Their joy doesn't come from meaningful achievements, but from watching others stumble. They sabotage, gossip, or intentionally harm to feed their fragile ego. At the root of this behavior lies profound insecurity. They need others to suffer to feel better about themselves, masking inner emptiness. To counter such individuals, Stoic philosophy emphasizes safeguarding your self-worth and choosing relationships that foster genuine growth. Recognize the signs: their indifference, their pleasure in others' pain, and their fixation on failures to boost their own image. Step away from them, because every moment spent in their presence diminishes your peace and self-value. Instead, surround yourself with those who uplift you, those who celebrate your growth rather than diminish it. These people not only respect you, but encourage you to become your best self. True joy isn't built on the suffering of others, It's built on shared success and genuine relationships. Sign 8, isolation as a weapon. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Humans are born to cooperate. Our strength lies in unity, shared experiences, and encouragement from those who truly care for us." However, malicious individuals seek to disrupt this natural order. One of their most potent weapons is isolation. By separating you from loved ones, friends, or support networks, they strip away your emotional strength, making you easier to control and manipulate. I once had a friend who initially appeared genuine and caring. Over time, however, she began making subtle negative comments about the people closest to me. "Your best friend doesn't really treat you well," she'd say in a serious tone. Or, "Your family doesn't understand you like I do." At first, I brushed off her remarks, believing she was just looking out for me. But as her comments grew more frequent, they began to create doubt, distancing me from relationships that had always been my strongest support. Her approach was gentle yet calculated, effectively isolating me from those who mattered most. This tactic is no accident. It's a deliberate psychological maneuver toxic individuals use to sow insecurity and make you believe they're the only ones who genuinely care. The more isolated you become, the greater their control over you grows. But here's what they don't want you to realize. True strength comes from genuine connection and solid relationships. Unity is the foundation of resilience. If you start noticing feelings of loneliness or detachment from your loved ones, pause and reflect. Reevaluate the situation, trust your instincts, and don't hesitate to reach out to those who truly matter. Speak openly to friends, family, and confidants. They form the foundation that keeps you grounded, even when life feels unstable. Stoic philosophy reminds us we're not meant to live isolated. We are part of a larger community, and authentic relationships are where our true power lies. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Protect your connections, and you'll find the strength to rise above manipulation. Sign 9, jealousy in disguise. Envy is a toxic emotion, but it becomes especially dangerous when disguised as concern or goodwill. Seneca once cautioned, "Envy is the ulcer of the soul." For those harboring envy, their seemingly helpful advice or attention often isn't meant to uplift you. It's designed to chip away at your confidence. Such individuals can't stand others' happiness or success. Cloaked in compliments or seemingly helpful advice, they subtly plant seeds of doubt about your worth. I once had a friend who appeared deeply invested in my achievements. After completing a major project I was extremely proud of, she remarked, "That's great, but maybe next time you should push yourself more to really reach a higher standard." Initially, I took it as genuine advice, but reflecting later, I realized her tone had an undertone, a subtle jab intended not to lift me up, but to diminish my accomplishment. What appeared as harmless feedback was, in reality, an attempt to make me feel inadequate. These false compliments often intertwine with remarks that undermine. A jealous person won't attack outright. Instead, they plant small doubts, making you question your capabilities. They might say things like, "You did really well, but don't get too excited. There's always room for improvement." Or, "That's amazing, but I heard someone else did something similar and achieved even better results." This behavior isn't kindness or genuine concern. It's a tactic to pull you down to their level. Envious individuals cannot celebrate your success because your accomplishments highlight their own insecurities. They don't want you to thrive. They want you to shrink so they no longer feel threatened. Stoic philosophy teaches us to trust our intuition. If you sense something off about someone's praise or advice, listen to that feeling. Look deeper into their true intentions. A genuinely kind person elevates you, praises you wholeheartedly, and encourages further growth. In contrast, a jealous person uses words to control your emotions and erode your confidence. To protect yourself, set clear boundaries, and never let anyone diminish your worth. Surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your success, those who not only help you shine, but inspire you to reach new heights. Remember, you don't need to dim your light to make others comfortable. Stand firm in your value and let your brilliance shine brightly. Sign 10, the unrepentant heart. One of the clearest signs of an evil person is an unrepentant heart. Marcus Aurelius taught us, do not waste time debating what a good person should be. Focus instead on actions that improve yourself. Evil individuals, however, do the exact opposite. They cling stubbornly to destructive habits, never admit fault, and have no intention of repairing the harm they've caused. They live in constant denial, justifying their actions with elaborate excuses as though the problem never lies within themselves. Think of someone you've known, a person who always has an excuse ready for every mistake. Whenever they hurt others, instead of apologizing, they shift blame onto circumstances or argue that others are equally at fault. When confronted about their harmful behavior, they deflect, blame shift, or even accuse others of overreacting. What truly stands out is their absolute refusal to change. To them, self-reflection and correcting wrongs are signs of weakness, while stubbornness is viewed as strength. This mindset starkly contrasts with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes that admitting mistakes and making amends demonstrate courage, self-awareness, and genuine strength. Individuals with unrepentant hearts don't just hurt others, they reject opportunities for personal growth and maturity. If you're close to someone who consistently justifies harmful actions, avoids accountability, and refuses to repair damage they've caused, take a moment to reflect. Recognize that not everyone is willing to grow or change. Protect yourself from toxic relationships and invest your energy in people who lift you up. Those courageous enough to confront their flaws and strive to become better. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, focus your mind on thoughts and people that elevate the quality of your life. We've just explored 10 evident signs indicating there may be an evil person close to you. Chilling, isn't it? But remember, awareness is your most powerful defense. Toxic individuals can only manipulate you when you're unaware of their tactics. Once you recognize their strategies, you not only protect yourself, you also shield your inner peace from their chaos. Marcus Aurelius taught us that true strength lies in mastering our minds and reactions. Never allow toxic individuals to invade your mental space or disrupt your serenity. Set clear boundaries, stand firm, and continue shining brightly, because your inner light is precisely what they fear most. When facing such darkness, remember this: your peace is not a luxury, it's your duty to defend. Your soul was never meant to become a playground for manipulators. Let your inner clarity cut sharply through their lies. Stand strong and refuse to let any whisper of doubt take root within you. Have you encountered someone who consistently undermines your choices, subtly questions your abilities, or quietly drains your energy? Such individuals use your kindness and openness against you. They exploit your trust, convincing you their intentions are pure while secretly eroding your self-confidence. The Stoics teach us the importance of vigilance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our thoughts shape our reality. Therefore, we must fiercely guard our mental space. Evil individuals will often disguise their actions as care or concern, making their manipulation difficult to detect. But you have the power within you to pierce through their illusions. Trust your intuition. It's a powerful guide, often recognizing danger long before your conscious mind catches up. Seneca once wisely advised, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be." Malicious people, however, are perpetually discontent. They constantly seek to undermine others' peace and happiness to compensate for their internal emptiness. Pay attention to the energy you feel around certain people. If you consistently leave interactions feeling drained, confused, or subtly anxious, consider these experiences as clear signals urging you to reconsider these relationships. Epictetus emphasized the power of choosing your associations wisely. He said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Take inventory of the people around you. Who brings positivity into your life? Who genuinely celebrates your achievements and comforts you in distress? Conversely, who diminishes your accomplishments, belittles your struggles, or quietly sabotages your peace?" Recognizing evil isn't about paranoia, it's about clarity. It's acknowledging reality and taking purposeful action to safeguard your emotional and spiritual health. Stoicism provides us with timeless wisdom. Guard your mind carefully, nurture relationships that build you up, and decisively distance yourself from those who attempt to tear you down. Remember, the ultimate goal is not merely avoiding negative influences, but actively cultivating a life filled with genuine connection, personal growth, and deep inner peace. Your emotional and spiritual well-being depends heavily upon the quality of your relationships. Choose consciously and courageously, always guided by the unwavering light of wisdom within you. If today's insights resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe for more empowering content, and leave a comment below saying, "I am ready to protect my peace." Together, let's continue to grow wiser and stronger, one day at a time. As we conclude, reflect deeply on this truth. Recognizing evil isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. The Stoics remind us that peace of mind doesn't come from controlling external events, but from mastering our inner responses. Every interaction you have either nourishes or drains you. Each relationship either lifts you higher or pulls you down. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people whose integrity matches your own values. Invest your time and emotional energy in those who genuinely care, uplift, and inspire you to become your best self. Marcus Aurelius taught us clearly, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Never allow anyone, no matter how charming or persuasive, to distort your reality or diminish your worth. Stand firmly rooted in your values, confident in your abilities, and vigilant against subtle manipulations. You have within you the strength to identify, resist, and distance yourself from negative influences. Your inner peace isn't something trivial, it's sacred, worthy of protection. Don't apologize for prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. Those who respect and value you will always honor your boundaries. Remember, toxic individuals fear your awareness and strength. They rely on confusion, uncertainty, and self-doubt to maintain control. When you choose clarity, self-awareness, and decisive action, their power dissolves. Embrace the Stoic wisdom you've gained today. Live boldly, with clear intentions and firm boundaries. Prioritize relationships built on honesty, empathy, and mutual respect. Let go without guilt those who do not align with these principles. Your journey toward emotional clarity and spiritual strength is a lifelong commitment. Keep cultivating inner peace, nourishing authentic relationships, and consciously creating the life you desire. You deserve nothing less than genuine happiness and meaningful connections. If you found value in these insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video, where together we continue to nurture wisdom and strength in our lives.